What does it take for a story to move millions? With nothing more than a stage, a spotlight, and a heartbeat. Have you ever wondered why the Tony Awards can bring a room full of the world's toughest critics to tears and make a small-town performer dream again? Tonight, we revisit the night when Broadway told the world, we're not just back, we're burning brighter than ever. Welcome to the 2025 Tony Awards. This is your complete, behind-the-scenes, emotional, and unforgettable guide to everything that happened. It's a warm June evening in New York City, and outside the David H. Koch Theater at Lincoln Center, the energy is palpable. The red carpet shimmers under camera flashes. A crowd has gathered, not just to see celebrities, but to witness a moment in history. Broadway has always been the heart of live theater. But post-pandemic, post-political turbulence, post-everything, it has become something even more powerful, a mirror of the world's chaos and its hope. The 78th Annual Tony Awards wasn't just a ceremony, it was a reckoning, a revelation, a revival. So today we're not just listing who won, we're peeling back the curtain on the shows that stunned us, the voices that rose, the risks that paid off, and the legacy this year will leave behind. Let's dive in. 2025 was defined by one word: transformation. This year's nominations prove that Broadway is no longer confined to traditional formats. In fact, the biggest contenders were those that defied tradition entirely. Take The Electric City, a groundbreaking Afrofuturist musical that fused storytelling, spoken word, electronic dance music, and ancestral folklore. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a revolution. Then there was Flesh and Bone, a stripped-down, emotionally charged play about generational trauma in an Asian American family. No elaborate sets, just raw, piercing dialogue, and moments so intimate the audience forgot to breathe. And Cabaret, yes, that Cabaret, came back in a version nobody saw coming. This time the MC was non-binary, the staging minimal, and the subtext painfully relevant in a post-truth society. These productions didn't just challenge theater norms, they reflected our current moment. Race, identity, climate, justice, healing. It was all there, on stage, in lights, in every breath of the performers. Let's break down some of the major winners and what made them so unforgettable. The Electric City, a dazzling, socially conscious musical that pulled no punches. It walked away with 9 awards, including Best Score, Best Direction, and Best Lighting Design. Flesh and Bone, a critical darling that hit hard, written by first-time playwright Mira Song, who based it on her own family's journey from war-torn Korea to Detroit. Her acceptance speech, a mic-drop moment to the mothers who never had the chance to dream. I'm dreaming out loud for you. Cabaret, directed by visionary Ricardo Esteves. This version stripped away glamour to expose the show's dark political roots. Bold, provocative, unforgettable. Jordan Matthews, Rising Tide. Matthews delivered a soul-shattering performance as a climate scientist turned activist. His final solo had people weeping openly in the theater. Naomi Kim, Letters from a Sealed Room. A quiet performance with thunderous impact. Her character spoke only 30 words in the entire play, yet left the loudest echo of the night. Of course, not every winner made headlines, but they made history. Best choreography went to Zayla Ortiz, who fused salsa, hip-hop, and ballet in La Puerta, a musical exploring Puerto Rican migration and resilience. Best scenic design was a technological triumph. The memory code used real-time AI-generated visuals that changed based on live audience reactions, a first in Broadway history. Best score was emotional, co-composed by a father-daughter duo for Sound of the Maples, about dementia, memory, and music as time travel. These artists reminded us that behind every spotlight is an entire universe of talent that shapes the soul of the story. Let's talk moments, the ones that made your heart race, that made Twitter explode. One of them came when Lillian Price, 86 years old, received the Lifetime Achievement Award. She began her speech, paused, and simply said, "Theater taught me to breathe, to forgive, to fight, to love, and I hope it does the same for you." Another came from Letters from a Sealed Room, performed live. The stage was dark. Naomi Kim stood alone. No music, no props, just one monologue that ended with a single line. If I had known silence was a language, I would have spoken it sooner. Then came the final performance of the night. The cast of the Electric City singing "We Are Sparks." No backup, no orchestra. Just one performer in a spotlight, whispers singing into the void. The lyrics, "We are sparks, until we burn, until we blaze, until we rise." Beyond the glamour, the 2025 Tonys also sparked necessary conversations. Calls for greater equity in funding for underrepresented theaters, demands for more disability access, on and off stage, rising voices from Indigenous and Black playwrights asking not for permission, but for platforms. Some raised eyebrows over the Electric City's dominance. Others felt Still Water Runs, a poetic reflection on grief and suicide, was robbed of broader recognition. But if anything, the debates prove this. Theater is alive. It's not passive. It questions, argues, inspires. In a world dominated by screens, why do the Tonys still matter? Because there's nothing like the raw truth of live performance. No retakes, no filters, just courage in motion. Theater is still where we confront our darkness and remember our light. This year's Tonys didn't just honor art. They reminded us of something more sacred, the power of presence, to gather, to cry, to celebrate, to witness. And 2025 delivered that power in every note, every word, every standing ovation. So whether you're a die-hard theater lover or just discovering the magic of Broadway, the 2025 Tony Awards gave us more than winners. They gave us stories that will echo for years. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.